Hey Weirdos! It's Thursday. I'm Christopher, and as always, I'm joined by...
I'm Mackenzie.
And I'm Sarah.
And this podcast is for weirdos.
What are we talking about today?
We are talking about a haunted location.
Ooh, ghosts.
We're going back to the basics. We love
Yeah.
haunted
Yeah, back to
location.
basics.
Back to basics.
Because we've been kind of on an alien kick.
A little bit.
We have been on an alien and wet things. kick.
Aliens and wet things
And books. It's like we had a theme.
It's
Yeah,
like we
it's
had.
almost-
It's like we had 3 themes for a while.
It's almost like we planned it that way.
What?
So I'm going to talk about a haunted location that isn't too crazy far away from us. So up in College Station, so at main campus, Texas A&M University, there is a building called the Animal Industries Building.
Is this on West Campus?
No, it is on main campus. It is the classes that used to be in this building are now on West Campus.
Gotcha. Okay. So it was like an animal sciences building.
Yes.
That then when they built West Campus, all of those classes moved
There.
to West Campus. Got it.
So
I know nothing about A&M.
you know nothing about main campus.
I know 0 about A&M College Station.
Perfect.
I know plenty about A&M College Station. I wanted to be a vet for a while.
Okay.
My initial dream job was to be a vet. And so when I was a kid, they do veterinary open houses. So the vet campus, they do this big, huge like open house event.
Neat.
And both because I wanted to do that I thought I wanted to do that as a career, and then for Girl Scouts we would go out for this open house. But they
Very
would
fun.
do like they had the like search and rescue dogs showing how like canine units are trained and
That's
like what they do. They would do stuffed animal surgeries. So they would like
Oh.
you would bring a stuffed animal, or they had stuffed animals, and you would go and they would say, "What's wrong with your stuffed animal?" And let's say you said, "Oh, he has, I don't know, appendicitis or a broken arm,"
I was going to say appendicitis.
and and
I was
then
going to be like, how do you have appendicitis?
and then they would like appendicitis. You know, they would cut open your stuffed animal and then give it sutures, or they would
That's so
wrap
cool.
they would cast your
Bear's
stuffed animal.
leg.
That's so fun.
And I think you could bring in whatever, or they had like I think they had gotten donated a bunch of
Stuffed
stuffed
animals,
animals.
yeah.
But they also had like you could stick they had a cow that had like
Oh, yeah.
it
with
had
the
you could
opening.
see the windows of the stomach, so you could see the different chambers because a cow has 4 stomachs.
Right.
So
Not
you-
a real cow.
no,
No, a real cow.
It's
A
real
living cow?
Yeah.
So it's a medical procedure that they do on some cows.
So they can check digestion and see the tracking and stuff.
Yeah, and
That's
so
neat.
like it's really neat, and like it doesn't
It doesn't hurt them.
harm the cow.
Wild.
But
and-
yeah, you can have
and-
a cow with windows.
And they had like the horses were out, and they would do all kinds of things. But I also toured. I toured main campus again when I thought I was going to be a vet before I got into A&M Galveston. Before I discovered that the public outreach education part of all of those things is what I wanted. I had a T-shirt from the vet school that said "My dog is my homework" on the back of it as like a bit.
I love that.
So yeah, I know a little bit. And I would say, I mean, I have not been back to main campus with the exception of football games and a couple of conferences in a hot minute. And I never went there for school. What
do you have to say?
Go ahead.
You said you can have a cow with windows, and I went, they're installing computer programs on cows now?
But anyway, please tell us about the Animal Industries building.
So the Animal Industries Building was fully opened in 1932. It was beginning to be built in 1929 at a cost of $225,000.
Oh, that's a lot of money for then.
Right. And so in 1936, they fully like dedicated the building. It was designed by the architect SCP Vosper.
That's a cool name.
Yeah. And it matches a lot of the other 1930s buildings on campus. A couple unique things about the building itself is from the A&M website, it says that the building is an eclectic classical revival architecture. And so it has both brick, tile, and cast stone panels on the outside,
Okay.
along with a wrought iron entrance surrounding the like cast stone entrance.
Okay.
And so the designs that went into this building specifically, because they knew what the building was going to be for. They knew
Right.
it was going to be animal industries as they were building it. And so they did include elements of like cow skulls and animals and plants in the architecture. And so there are some weird, almost like grotesques or gargoyles on the outside of this otherwise very 1930s kind of almost brutalist
Right.
structure. And so already you have almost a Southern Gothic vibe walking up to the building.
Right.
Like it's all
Horrifying. I
It's
love
got
it.
wrought iron and skulls and
right.
that
And
kinda
so like
shit.
the wrought iron is also made up of all sorts of different Texas cattle
Motifs.
brands.
Oh, that's so fun.
It's really neat.
I love that.
Yeah, like they put a lot of
See,
thought
Sarah's
and
gonna want to go
effort.
take a picture with this building just for the brands.
Oh, you know,
I've never been to A&M.
we can go.
I
just
would
to
go
see this
just to
building.
look at this building.
I was like, we're gonna go to College Station and only go to the Animal Science Industries building, and then have to find another haunted place to go to, and then come home.
Okay, but we can go to the library and just hang out at the library and go see like Game of Thrones shit.
Good luck, boo.
Yeah, so it has skulls, animal heads, ears of corn, cornucopias.
Ears of corn.
Yeah,
Cute.
right?
So they built it with the intent for it to be an animal sciences building.
Yeah.
Did they include like, I guess I don't know, in the 30s were they doing lab work or anything
Yes.
like that? Okay.
So there is a basement to this building,
Horrifying.
and in the basement there
Animal
is
morgue? An animal morgue?
kind of.
Oh.
They had like meat processing because
Oh.
like they were teaching students how to process meat.
Right.
Right.
Animal science, animal industries.
Right.
Because like, do not forget that A&M is a
Agricultural
agricultural and
and
mechanical
mechanical
school.
right.
And so during World War II, the meat lab was a major contributor when students and staff processed 9,500 head of livestock, totaling 4 million pounds of meat that was sold to the war effort for $300,000.
That's a wow.
That's impressive.
amazing.
Yeah,
Along with the class that got up and left to serve
right,
for World War II.
Right.
exactly. And so like that's pretty neat little history there.
Yeah.
And so today, the building houses the departments of Range and Forestry and Ecosystem Science and Management,
Oh, fun.
the Stable Isotopes for Biosphere Science Laboratory, as well as an Ecology and Natural Resources teaching area. All take up like classrooms and office space here.
Okay. Cool.
So that's just a little bit about the building itself.
we love a rundown of the building.
I love it. You gotta tell me.
It's
why
like the
there.
tell me about the lake. Like,
Tell me about the
you gotta-
lake.
Tell
You
me
gotta
about
know
the
it.
lake.
Tell me
Tell
about, the building.
building.
Exactly. So that kind of sets our scene.
Spooky Southern Gothic meat lab
Corn.
corn.
Corn. Yep. So
1930s.
we're going to talk about a guy called Roy Sims.
Roy
Okay.
Sims.
He first joined A&M staff in 1938 as a dining hall worker.
cool.
And this building was opened in 36 officially.
Yes. That's when they dedicated it. I
So
think
it
the first
would've-
classes they started having were in like 32
Okay.
In
So-
the building?
in the
Yeah.
building, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
So within the first couple of years of the building being open. and
right.
used,
So he
okay.
didn't immediately work in this building. He was in the dining hall first, doing food and whatnot. And then he left the school to serve in World War II.
Right.
As so many people did.
and so he was in the Navy, and he returned after his service in 1946. And by 1948, he was promoted to meat locker room foreman.
Oh,
And
What a title.
yeah, and he held this position.
only at A&M.
I'd like to know what his like position description was. Like,
Yeah, what was his job description?
Because like the term foreman is a very construction term of like you're leading a group of people. But I want to understand what the meat locker room foreman.
I wonder if they were using foreman as like manager.
Probably. So I definitely know that there was daily like butchering that was happening to help sustain the school. So like the meat for campus was being processed on campus,
Wow.
which is pretty neat. It's not what happens anymore.
No. Chartwell's.
Now it's Chartwell's.
Bad.
At least down on our campus.
No, it's Chartwell's up there.
It's
The
Chartwell's
con-
up
the
there. That's
contract-
why ours is
it's-
Chartwell's.
It's because the
them.
contract goes across campuses.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Anyways,
It's Chartwell's, and it's bad.
it's bad.
Not on the ship.
They don't process their meat on
No.
campus.
No.
Sorry, I was just curious because the title foreman, like,
Right.
Oh, yeah,
threw
no,
me.
for sure.
They're from like a era time change, title changes in language kind of thing.
Oh, yeah,
It's just like
absolutely.
you hear foreman in the term of construction for the most part now, or in very blue collar industry. Not
Right.
saying the animal industry is not blue collar, but it's not the terminology necessarily used anymore, especially on a collegiate campus.
Right.
Yeah.
But like he wasn't a professor or anything.
He was just a dude.
He was just a guy. And so now we're gonna get into our incident.
Incident.
November 14th, 1959. Roy Sims and Zelly Newton were in the meat processing lab in the basement.
Never good.
It was like 8:10 in the morning.
Oh,
Like they had got
okay.
it was like morning, and Roy was butchering a pig. He was working. He was about to go cut a slab of bacon from this pig.
Okay.
And Zelly Newton, had briefly exited the building at roughly around 8:10 to go to his car to listen to a weather forecast. Because again, it's 1959.
Right.
No phones. They're also in the basement, so no radio
They don't have
in
the
the
radio in
basement.
the basement. So we
I
have
was
to
like,
go-
it wouldn't even probably today. It wouldn't have mattered. You'd have to go out and up.
You have to go out and
get out
up.
of the
to get out of the basement, get a signal.
Yeah. And so he went for like 5 minutes to go listen to a weather forecast to see what the day was going to hold. He returned to the lab, and Roy was bleeding out.
Oh my god.
So what had happened was during the butchering process of trying to get the slab of bacon
Get the
out,
bacon off of the pig.
he did some unwise things and was cutting towards himself.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. And his knife slipped. He cut his own femoral artery.
Oh my god.
And so
Yikes.
a big yikes. He was on his way to the freight elevator, which is how you get down to the basement, and passed out and died
Fascinating.
on his way to the freight elevator.
Because he bled all of his blood.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's no fun. It's gross. But he died before an ambulance could even get there.
So sorry, Roy.
Right.
Um,
Well, 911 didn't exist yet, so
right.
the ability to like even
You'd have to
call
call
was hard.
campus police and then
You know, like
Yeah.
they did try.
Right.
They put their best
Yeah.
effort forward. But he did
I'm like-
die.
the heat, the like, just the. I can imagine like Roy's, just you go into shock so
And you go,
quickly,
fuck.
and you're just like, what do I do? And he's trying to
Well,
get
it's one
up
of
and
those things
out.
that it's
to
like
try-
it's always one of those things that like you cut yourself real bad and you look at it and it doesn't bleed and you're like I'm good and then it starts gushing and you're like fuck
Yeah.
and that's how that always goes. Even
he's-
that will because it time slows down.
Yeah,
and
and
you're
you go,
like oh no I'm
"Ooh."
okay and then you look and it starts bleeding and you're like
Oh,
no.
And like to know that he was trying
To get out.
to get out is just
Yeah.
Trying to get
it's
to Zelly.
so sad.
Yeah.
Poor Roy.
Poor Roy.
Okay, keep talking.
So there is a lot of mixed information on whether or not this building is actually haunted by Roy.
Okay.
Okay.
Some students say that they have spent so much time in that building and they've never experienced anything weird and da 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 da.
As with every haunted location, there's plenty of people that say, "Well, nothing ever happened to me."
Right.
I'm just going to remind you about what our Lord and Savior, Dr. Irving Finkel, said at the end of his book, which was either everyone who's ever experienced a ghost is pulling a prank, lying, or deluded, or ghosts exist.
Yeah.
And you just aren't lucky enough to have seen one.
I want to be lucky.
Yeah. And so some people have also said the opposite. They say they didn't know about Mr. Sims's death until after they graduated. And they're like, "Well, yeah, I felt weird in that building the whole time.
Right.
And I never liked being in there. And I was always uncomfortable."
I don't like basements, so I would not ever be comfortable in that building regardless, because
Right.
basements inherently give me
The
the
heebie-jeebies.
heebie-jeebies.
That's odd.
But so there's a couple different hearsay of this is what people experience.
Right.
So
Out of curiosity,
Yeah.
is that meat lab still utilized as a meat lab? Like, is that basement space still used the same way?
No. So the building has been renovated a handful of times since then. And the basement area where Sims died
Right.
is now a men's bathroom.
Damn it. Well, you can go investigate that.
I
for
can go.
us.
Fascinating.
Yeah, I can go in the basement and sit in the bathroom and go, "Hey, Mr. Sims?
Hey, Roy.
Roy? But there is a fire escape in that bathroom.
Fascinating.
Yeah, I don't know. Look, I have not put my eyeballs on
I would be
the
intrigued.
inside of this building.
I would be intrigued to go to this building and like, I would be uncomfortable, but like go walk
Right.
that space if possible to like if it's accessible by the public, because like
Right.
you know, not everywhere on a college campus is accessible to the public.
Right.
But like
From all of the articles that I've read, it seems like it's pretty accessible.
I figure
As
it's a
long
classroom building.
as long as you know which building it is, like
Here's the thing. All three of us have maroon t-shirts.
we
yeah.
also
And
all
we
three
all-
technically have Aggie rings.
Oh, I do have one, but we also all look young enough that if we are wearing a maroon t-shirt,
we could.
and
Not
we
one
could-
person is gonna
no
question-
one's gonna ask any
Also,
questions.
I have a staff ID.
Yeah, that too.
Right. Right, but I was like, we all look young enough to be passable as students.
There are
still.
plenty of people on our campus that knew me when I was a student that forget that I am graduated and have been staff full time for 3 years. So
Yeah.
it's fine. Okay.
But so, Texas Hauntings reports that screams, footsteps, and slamming doors are all regular occurrences. In
What's
addition
new?
to the elevator moving from floor to floor with no people inside.
Is it the same elevator shaft?
Yes.
Horrible.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I wonder if it happens around. Well,
Slamming doors is just like it's an old building.
Yeah. Like
Every old building has that kind of.
Well, I
thing.
wonder if I just it would be an interesting thing to test, because the time of death, like the time of the incident,
Is early in the morning.
is
Early in the
so
morning?
is like a peak class time. I wonder if people don't notice that it's moving, quote unquote, on its own because it's being called so much, versus on days that it's not utilized for classroom space. That's when people are noticing that it's going on its own around the time that it would have been happening.
maybe. I do know that.
Full speculation. Sorry.
So there were notes in multiple different places that there are rumors that the janitorial staff has been asked to at night put the elevator down on the in the basement and leave the doors open.
oh, so we can get out.
Or just because it keeps going down there.
Because
Like, is there an actual reason or is it a ghost reason?
so it's a ghost reason.
okay, good.
Love
Love that.
So one of the professors, Dr. Gary Smith,
Hi, Gary.
was, I don't remember which source this came from, but it's a quote from him. He was interviewed. He was a student at the time of the incident, but he
Oh.
was not present or around.
Right.
But one of his close friends has really like was around,
Yeah.
knew about it for
Yeah.
like secondhand, basically. And so Dr. Smith says that when the elevator is left up the next morning, all sorts of containers around the building would just be found like uncapped and in disarray, and just
He's
like,
like,
He's like,
I
"Give me
want
my-"
to get out.
He's like, I need my elevator, please.
right, and every like things are
Like he's trying to shuffle his way and he's knocking everything over in the process trying to get to the elevator.
yeah, it says if he did not have a place to sleep, he would go rummaging around the meat lab,
sleeps in the
disturbing equipment and tools.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
It's very like paranormal reasons behind the ghost light in a theater.
right.
Of like, mess with this.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's like
Here's
here's
this.
here's your thing.
Here's your thing. It's like our table light.
Yeah.
For Mike.
Where it's like, okay, this is your thing to mess with. Mm-hmm. You can mess with it all you want.
And so it's like, okay, we'll put the elevator down.
Yeah, we'll put the elevator down there with you.
Go to bed.
Go to sleep. Good night. And
So like screams makes sense. It was a traumatic.
it was a pretty
Incident.
traumatic death. Yeah.
Footsteps make sense. It's an ancient building.
It's an old building.
Not ancient,
Yeah.
but like
But it's a school.
it's a school.
It's a school.
It's door slamming, footsteps. Listen, it's A&M. Screams are not that far out of bounds
Oh,
for
yeah.
inside of a building. I'm not.
It's
There's
also a like animal processing building, even if it's just like a Becky who didn't know what she was getting into, walking into the basement, seeing a dead pig, and going, ah!
Exactly.
Like screams are out of the ordinary. Also, like
very.
Roy probably fucking screamed when he stabbed himself in the leg.
100%.
Well,
because
yeah,
that
I'm
shit
saying
hurt.
absolutely Roy screamed.
Yeah,
but I'm
Roy
saying
screamed, but, like,
if there's-
other screams.
If there's other screaming, it's
That's not out of the ordinary.
Yeah,
very
it's-
it's residual and it's a college campus and it's very like
I know.
energy haunting.
And
Right.
it's also very much a liminal space because it
It's a
is a,
school.
campus. Like
Yeah.
it is a school.
And it's
like,
been
there's
a
constantly people going
renovated
through.
it's a renovated college campus building that was
Yeah.
built in the 30s. Of course, it's got some residual weird energy shit going
Yeah.
on.
The elevator stuff is definitely Roy.
Oh, so Roy.
Oh yeah,
In my
100%. I
opinion.
believe it. But then another guy, Dwayne Kramer, a former student, he worked with Roy a little bit in the meat lab, and so here's a couple quotes from him. I just knew him really from working in the meats lab some. He was always very friendly and so forth. He, I don't know who he is talking about when he says he because it's not Roy.
Okay.
It's probably
Somebody
Dwayne.
It's a
Or
quote
maybe
from
Gary?
Dwayne.
Maybe he's talking about the other guy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, Zell or Zelly.
Maybe. He said if you see any ghosts, give them my regard. And I would say that if Roy is a ghost, he's certainly a friendly one.
Okay.
So, like, Roy's not a scary ghost.
Roy's like Mike,
yeah,
he's
Roy's
like
like Mike.
except an adult that
He
had a very
just-
traumatic end.
Right.
yeah,
He
he's
just
an
had
older Mike.
he had a big old oopsie, and now he's maybe stuck there.
Right.
But
Makes sense.
yeah,
Die that
Also, it
quickly.
sounds
Maybe he
like
didn't realize he
liked
died.
being there. He
Yeah.
worked at the school and then went away to war and then,
then
came
came
back
back.
to the school and got a cooler job.
exactly. And so like and it seems from everybody's stories of him, he's like a chill guy,
Yeah.
not like real relaxed, real have fun, real just a nice guy.
Cool.
There was one website that was like, watch out, Roy's gonna get you with his butcher knife, and I was like, shut up.
That's fear mongering. Don't
Stop
do that.
Yeah.
It's like the angry PSA that I did at the end of Waverly Hills.
Yeah.
Where it's like, haunted places are not scary places just because they are haunted places.
Exactly.
If they
Like-
are haunted by ghosts who love the place that they are not scarily haunted places.
Exactly. Just like fucking
The Stanley.
the Stanley.
Happy
It's
haunts.
lovingly haunted.
Yeah.
But yeah. This building, I would say, is haunted, and we should go visit.
Yeah, I mean, there's
Haunted.
for only having one death associated directly with the building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would agree. I would be interested to see if there's anything besides Roy there.
Yeah.
Like, if Roy is the reported spirit, then absolutely it's one of those where you're going to go in and you're going to find him, if that's your intent in an investigation. But with the age of the building, with its location, I would be interested to see
If
what
there's anybody
other
else.
people could be in that space, especially because so often, I think what people forget is sometimes spirits go to haunt a place they enjoyed being, even if that's not where they died or had anything to do with
100%.
their death. Because, like, yes, Mr. and Mrs. Stanley haunt the Stanley, but that was also like their home and their business, or their home was very close to that space. So even if they didn't die there, it makes the most sense that they're there. But sometimes people end up in a place that is completely, maybe they're a former student that died, but they were like, man, the best part of my life was in this building, and I want to go do that over and over again for the rest of whatever. Like,
They had the best time of their lives butchering animals with their friends. Like, great. Love that for you, bud.
or maybe not even that, but just like being in that space was like
Yeah.
a comforting space for them in that regard.
I have an interesting
Theorem.
theorem or question.
Okay.
But I don't. There's no answer to this question.
Query?
Shoot.
A query for the universe.
Sure.
I wonder because we talk about residual hauntings and energy and liminal space and all that kind of stuff. Go listen to Hauntings 101.
Had a lot of big feelings in that episode.
But we talk about liminality being not necessarily a cause, but a source
Yeah.
of some of this kind of stuff. And this building is undoubtedly haunted. It's got all this weird stuff going on, and it has a recorded death. I wonder if I'm going to propose an experiment that no one will ever do.
Okay.
You have two buildings
Yeah.
that are built in the exact same year in the exact same way, and they are used for the exact same thing for the duration of their lives.
Okay.
One of them, Roy dies in. The other one, Roy does not die in. In 2025, are both buildings haunted? Do they both have that same liminal haunting that we would expect, or residual haunting of footsteps, doors slamming, yelling, talking, all that, because it's been a college campus, at a college building since the 30s, right? Of almost 100 years at this point. Is that, are both buildings going to be haunted?
I mean,
or is this one haunted because it has that trigger instance of a death occurring there, and that kind of
Opened the energy up.
Opened the energy up to showing itself, right? Because places that have residual hauntings that we know of usually have something else.
Like a
Or a
construction
recorded-
trigger or a recorded death, or
Right,
some
they
kind
have
of incident.
something going on. The Waverly Hills again, right, has hundreds of deaths. Would that building, had it not been
A sanatorium.
had it just been an office building
Yeah.
for that same amount of time, would it have that level of haunting?
Well, but I think we can look at that from also in that same regard when we talk about when we talked about Paranormal Ranger, that office building that was super haunted and had all of the apportment that had been a handful of different things, but the building itself had not gone under major renovation. But it had been an office building, and it had been I think the trigger for that building may have been if it was a hospital at any point for the
I
war.
thought it was a police station for a while.
The police station was a cross.
Oh, okay.
Or the bottom floor was used as offices for part of the police station, if I remember correctly.
I think that's what it was. I knew it had something to do with the police force in some way.
Yeah.
But even in that regard, that building was very haunted in a similar and yet different.
Right. But that's just
way.
my question of
It's a good question.
So I think this is a query that we could potentially look more into.
we could. It's definitely something that we could be okay, I want to go to a building that doesn't have this mythos of being haunted.
Yeah.
And see what happens.
See if we can experience, but has all of the things that we would say are prime for being haunted, minus a tragedy.
Right.
And see if we experience any sort of
Because
residual stuff.
We could go to A&M
Right.
and go to one of the other 1930s buildings.
Because I mean, there's
So-
a lot of campus expansion around 1930s.
Right. There are other
Right.
buildings.
I was like, there were plenty of buildings that were built in the 30s.
Yeah.
And so we can go and pick the Animal Industries building and another building.
Go on like a Saturday
Yeah.
when there's not going to be people there.
Yeah.
So that way the footsteps we're hearing are not all of the students.
Or pick an area of the building that is less
traffic,
likely to be
yeah.
occupied or trafficked.
Who would we have to reach out to at A&M
I
to
don't
do
know.
this in
I
some sort
Find
of
the
way?
department head for the
building?
The
For the building,
building. Like
okay.
if there's 2 different academic departments, all you have to do is find the people that work in that building.
Hey,
Hi, we'd like to do this.
we're former students
We're former students from Galveston. And we do this educational podcast.
We do this educational podcast about ghosts, and we are interested in doing a little bit of an experiment. Ooh, buzzword.
Ooh, science.
Involving the Animal Industries building and another building of similar age. Would you be open to us just like coming and sitting on the floor in a non-high traffic, non-high class? Like we will not be interrupting education,
right.
kind of time period to gather data.
I mean,
Yeah.
the real answer would be we'd go like right after graduation.
Right.
Yeah.
Because like usually faculty is not, unless it's a research space, faculty is usually not in those spaces. And it depends on what the summer class schedule is, but you can find that.
Right. But I
Right.
think that this is something we should look into maybe for like
Yeah.
next summer.
Next summer. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I don't
or
have- I-
over like winter break.
I don't have a training ship next summer.
Okay.
Ooh.
Well, there you go.
That could be on the
So-
docket for next summer.
I am not going to be tied to a C term at all.
That'll be fun.
should also try and do the Waverly Hills next summer then.
Okay.
Yeah, because the only thing I'm going to have to be involved with for next summer's like C term, we're sending them to Maine, is going to be people traveling back and forth to Philadelphia for construction for the ship, and then flying all of our students home from Maine at the end of their C term, which will be
Gotcha.
in like July.
Gotcha.
But
Okay.
realistically, once a plane is booked,
It's done.
it's not really my problem anymore.
Yeah.
This was very interesting, Christopher. This was not a building. It's a building I knew of, like, because I know a bunch of the historical buildings on A&M's campus. But like, I did not know this story. And for as pervasive as A&M storytelling is,
Right.
this is not one that I
It's
knew.
like fucking
So-
college of lore.
Steeped in fucking lore and mythos.
Where is the College of Folklore Studies?
Yeah.
We'll start it.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
I don't want to be a teacher.
They're never going to do that.
I know, I know. But it was a fun thought. for
But
a
see,
brief
okay,
moment.
look. What we do is we set up a tent in a public area on the university because that's allowed.
It is loud.
Right.
We're
yell at-
allowed to go proselytize.
We go yell in the quad.
We go yell in the quad. Aliens, ghosts.
We put pamphlets in people's backpacks. Did I tell you about that?
Yes.
When somebody put a tiny copy of the New Testament into my backpack when I was walking by because I had headphones on.
Insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, we go do that.
You did a great job.
Thank you.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Oh, okay.
That's
I didn't
all-
know if you had more. Okay.
No, that's all I have.
Okay.
For
Yeah.
Animal
I
Industries
think it
building.
will be interesting to maybe like genuinely reach out.
I think this
Yeah.
is like, I don't think this the haunting part of it is kind of open and shut.
Yeah. Haunted.
From like haunted check.
Stamp. I
Like-
will put the stamp on the screen that I put on the screen.
Like haunted did it.
Done.
But like I think from us,
From an experimental point
Right.
of view.
It has
things
raised
we could
questions.
do.
Yeah.
It has raised questions, and they're not questions about this building. They're questions about the phenomena in general.
Yeah,
which is
about,
the whole
like,
point of this
hauntings.
podcast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I think that would be fun. I
and
really
I
like
think
that
this
idea.
is a permission, not forgiveness kind of
well, yeah, because
Yeah.
situation.
we would be doing an experiment on college property, and we are not current students of that
university,
space.
right?
Yeah.
Like I think that this is something that is we reach out. and
It would
we-
have been different if it
Worst
was
they can
like,
say is no.
oh,
Right.
we're gonna do an experiment in CLB.
yeah,
and-
the fucking women's bathroom in CLB
Yeah,
downstairs, which is haunted as fuck.
We're gonna sit in the women's bathroom in CLB, and then we're gonna We're gonna go talk to Kristen's nun or Sarah's nun.
Yeah, the nun that lives in
and
Kristen's
then we're
office.
gonna go upstairs and see what could possibly be existing in Dr. Mark's office.
Like, we're gonna go in there with the fucking spirit box, and it's just gonna be like, ah, just screaming.
Like, I think because like we can turn around and go do that whenever we wanted.
yeah, literally,
But,
we
like-
could go there whenever we want. We could, Dr. Mark's. We sit outside the mass office door and wait for
Sure.
him to go lizard because he doesn't lock his office usually when he does that. We just open the door. He leaves, doesn't notice us. We run in and we sit down on the floor.
Kristen, I need you to keep guard.
Kristen, keep Dr. Mark busy.
Keep watch. We
Give us 20 minutes.
do gorilla fucking
Gorilla Estes.
yeah, gorilla Estes method in the office.
How fucked up would
Oh
that
my
be?
god, that'd be so. What's funny is we would have to do that. We would have to go. Hey,
Hey, Dr.
Hey, Dr.
Mark.
Mark,
Can
can
we
you-
sit in your
can we
office?
sit in your
can we
office
sit
for
on the
20
floor in your
minutes?
office, surrounded by bones? And he'd be like, I don't care.
He's
Do it when
like,
I'm
do I have
not
to be here? And I'd be like, preferably not.
I mean, technically you do because of like FERPA and whatever, but
like if you could just sit like in the like in the waiting area
Yeah,
for
if you
20
can just,
minutes.
on the window.
Yeah, God, it's so funny. That would be really funny. But yeah, like we could get away with doing pretty much anything we wanted anywhere on A&M Galveston's campus
yeah.
because if anyone can get away with anything on that campus. If you just
Yeah.
look like you belong a little bit, no one is going to ask questions of you
Nope.
because that campus is so weird anyway.
Yep.
But two, especially if we're like in CLB or a place that what is like massed stomping grounds, they're going to be like, oh, it's them. That's fine. And it's
Yeah.
like none of us are students anymore.
You know, none of us are students anymore, and you haven't seen us for like a couple years. Most of us, like most
Yeah.
of y'all.
It's
and
fine.
if you're with me, it doesn't matter because I'm a staff member.
No, I know,
That
but
too.
also you're not operating the capacity of your employment. But it's just one of those things that's like no one is going to ask questions.
The police come, I'm friends with all of them.
No, I know, but that's the
Yeah.
police aren't gonna come. They're not gonna give a shit.
Anyway, great job, Christopher.
Yippee!
Thank you for teaching us.
Absolutely. I think that's all we need to know about the Animal Industries building on Texas A&M's campus.
Ooh.
Let's see what happens next week. Thanks for listening.
This podcast is for weirdos.
Are you a weirdo?
Thursdays are for the phenomena.